Hello, you're watching Daily News on Allnews Nigeria. I am Okoyemi Olugbemi here at the headlines for today. Emefiele to flee Nigeria before TINUBU'S inauguration. Visa restrictions imposed on election riggers. Inspector General of Police warns against plans to truncate TINUBU'S inauguration. Welcome back. Now the news. Emefiele, the man who puts Nigerians in distress and economic crunch, is planning to flee Nigeria in a bid to evade justice. Reports reaching us that Godwin Emefiele, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, has reportedly been granted a study leave by President Muhammadu Buhari, which raises the question, why has Buhari been shielding Emefiele from the hands of the law? This opportunity for Emefiele to flee the country on study leave before Buhari leaves office on May 29, 2023 comes amid corruption and terrorism financing allegations against him. Again, the question, at what age is Emefiele going to school again? This move is evidently fishy. Before now, there have been many attempts to arrest Emefiele. Somehow, he's always a step ahead, cunning and slippery with his moves. Recall how the country's secret police, DSS, made futile attempts to arrest and detain Emefiele in the past over the damning allegations against him. They are certainly not happy about the prospect of seeing the CBN governor evade justice. Mr. Emefiele is involved in terrorism financing, aiding and abetting acts of terrorism, economic crimes of national security dimension, and for undermining the security of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. In December, Emefiele was out of the country and delayed his stay abroad after claiming he was sick and undergoing treatment. Upon Emefiele's return to Nigeria in January 2023, after spending several weeks away, it was reported how the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo, deployed military personnel and intelligence officers to ensure that Emefiele was not arrested by the DSS. In March, a former lawmaker, Senator Shehu Sani, said Emefiele's life would be made miserable by the incoming administration of President-elect Bola Tinubu. According to Sani, Emefiele's life and activities under the incoming government will be like a zebra in the hands of tigers. Considering the controversies that have surrounded the Naira redesign and cashless policy under Emefiele's leadership in CBN, and the fact that Tinubu alleged that the Naira redesign policy was targeted as sabotaging his presidential ambition, Sani said, and I quote, "When Baba is gone, Emefiele will be like zebra in the hands of tigers." In latest development, a civic group, the Nigerian Watch Front Group, NWFG, has demanded that Nigerian security agencies immediately place a travel ban on the governor of Central Bank, Godwin Emefiele, and confiscate his international passport. Moving on to the next news, the United States has revealed that it has imposed visa restrictions on specific individuals who undermine the democratic process during Nigeria's 2023 general elections. In a short tweet on Monday, the United States Secretary of State, Anthony J. Blinken, announced that the government of the United States of America had imposed visa restrictions on the specific individuals, even though it failed to disclose their names. Nigerian Twitter users have reacted to this development while commending the government of the United States. They also asked the United States Secretary of State to name those specific individuals. Prior to the February 25 presidential and National Assembly elections and March 18 governorship and state assembly elections, the United States government had warned it would impose visa sanctions on people who tried to undermine Nigeria's democratic process in 2023. In November 2022, the political counselor at the United States Embassy in Nigeria, Rolf Olson, has stated while speaking at the Albert Offrey Fellowship Alumni Association seminar that sanctions had been placed on persons who undermined Nigeria's election before and will be repeated in the 2023 elections. However, shortly after the March 18 governorship election, the United States government urged the federal government and other relevant agencies to ensure those that aided voter suppression and violence are brought to book. It's maintained that it will consider all available actions against those who undermine the just concluded elections in Nigeria. In a statement, the United States mission in Nigeria issued then that it had said it would deeply disturbed by cases of voter intimidation and the use of ethnically charged rhetoric during the gubernatorial and House of Assembly elections. Finally, on the news, ahead of the May 29 inauguration, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, says the Nigerian police force will always defend the country's democracy at all costs.
It has been observed that some major political actors that the outcome did not favor have been issuing public threats that are directed at instigating actions to frustrate the presidential inauguration ceremony on the 29th of May.
Speaking at a news conference on Monday in Abuja, Usman Baba said the May 29 inauguration at the federal state levels is sacrosanct. The IGP said those planning to disrupt the inauguration ceremonies will be identified promptly, isolated, and brought to justice. Usman Baba said the police and other law enforcement agencies would not fold their hands and allow political actors to create tension ahead of the ceremony.
We will defend our democracy at all costs. The 29th May 2023 date for the swearing-in ceremony of the President-elect of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and indeed other inauguration ceremonies at national and state level, is sacrosanct. We shall undertake this task optimally and manifestly. Anybody that stands in the way will be identified, promptly isolated, and brought to deserve justice in the overriding interests of our national security and stable political order.
The Inspector General of Police added that security agencies were ready to keep the country's internal security stable during the inauguration and beyond. And that's it on today's news. For more updates, kindly follow us on all social media platforms displayed on the screen. I am Okpeyemi Olubimi. You have a nice day.